This is the story of Seiichi Hiragi, an overweight high schooler who's constantly bullied and ignored. Nobody cares about him, until one day everything changes. God suddenly teleports him to a mysterious world that doesn't even exist on Earth. Suddenly, Hiragi Seiichi finds himself trapped in a dark cave. Inside that cave, something shines so brightly that he can't see a thing, and then, in an instant, that light transforms into a beautiful girl. As soon as she stands up, she hugs Hiragi tight and asks him to marry her. Hiragi's heart races, completely frozen in shock. He never expected something like this. A gorgeous girl suddenly appearing, hugging him and asking him to marry her. His mind races back to the cruel reality of his old life, where he was always bullied and ignored. But his life is about to change even more. Back at school, as kids are heading for home, a mysterious announcement echoes through the classroom. The voice calls himself God and tells the students they'll be transported to another world, where they'll all become heroes. He even gives them special powers and item boxes. All the kids think this announcement is super weird. Then another one comes, telling them to form groups for an easy transfer to the other world. But nobody teams up with Hiragi because his level is just 1, so he ends up all alone. Seeing Hiragi by himself, even God feels sorry for him, so he grants Hiragi a special skill and sends him to the other world too. Because he got transported solo, Hiragi ends up summoned to a spot totally separate from his friends in this new world. 5 days have already passed since he arrived. During that time, he hasn't found a single thing to eat in this jungle. Then he spots a worm crawling right in front of him. Hiragi tries to eat it, but something jumps right over his back. He yells in pain and curses whatever it is. Then the same thing jumps over him again. Now Hiragi has 0 energy left. His eyes land on a coconut lying nearby. He picks it up fast and checks if the fruit is poisonous. Hiragi learns it's called the fruit of illusion. He doesn't spot anything wrong with it, so he eats it. But the taste is awful, making him throw up. Still, Hiragi forces himself to finish it all. Right then, a robotic voice echoes around him, saying the effect of the fruit of evolution has begun. But Hiragi doesn't notice any change in himself. Now he starts hunting for anything edible nearby. That's when he sees some monkeys hiding in the bushes. These are the exact same monkeys that jumped over him before. Hiragi uses his skill to check their levels and is stunned. They're at level 120, while he's still just level 1. And these monkeys are building something. After they leave, Hiragi sneaks over and checks it out. He finds 9 fruits of evolution there, plus some top-level recovery potions the monkeys were making. Hiragi stuffs them all into his item box. On the flip side, we see Hiragi's classmates who are really worried about him since he got separated from the group. Now back to Hiragi, he finds a mushroom in the jungle and even his skills have no info on it. He gets nervous but ends up eating it anyway, which makes him feel terrible. But eating that mushroom also gives him the parallel resistance skill. Now, Hiragi figures since he's probably going to die in this world anyway, he might as well eat the rest of those fruits of illusion. Out of the 9, he has just 2 coconuts left, and they've been the only reason he's survived so far. But he still has no clue what effects these fruits of evolution will really have. Hiragi starts thinking maybe that whole thing was a lie, and he gets upset that he ate so many for nothing. Then boom, tons of new skills start unlocking for Hiragi, and his rank jumps up from before. He's celebrating his good luck when out of nowhere, a monkey launches a surprise attack from behind, making blood pour from his body. Hiragi quickly drinks one of those healing potions to fix his wound and angrily demands to know why the monkey ambushed him. The monkey doesn't answer and charges at him fast, grabbing his neck and slamming him to the ground. Hiragi knows he can't win this and he's sure this is the end. The monkey is about to chomp down on him when a stinky gas bursts out from Hiragi's body. The monkey sniffs it, collapses to the ground and dies right there. Hiragi checks inside the monkey and scores a bunch of items, including the monkey skill cards. Now Hiragi can use those attacks himself. Among the loot, he gets the clever monkey knowledge book, packed with tons of info about this world. But it's mind-blowing how Hiragi can even read it. Turns out that's the special skill God gave him. Now that same voice rings out again, announcing that evolution is about to kick off. Hiragi doesn't get it at all, and then intense pain hits his body. His bones start cracking and he gets way skinnier than before. It hurts like crazy, but Hiragi's evolution finishes 1 out of 100, boosting his powers big time. Still, he's shocked to see that even after beating a level 120 monkey, his own level is stuck at 1. Fast forward, 5 months have gone by since Hiragi landed in this world. He's chilling by a spot, sipping water, when a level 322 wolf pounces on him from above. Hiragi dodges the strike and unleashes his special guillotine kick, wiping out the wolf. Just like last time, he grabs a load of items from it, including a water spirit dagger that lets him use water magic now. Hiragi's evolution fires up again, and now 9 out of 10 are done. He wonders what'll happen when the 10th one finishes. While he's pondering that, the clever monkey group surrounds him from every side, and this time their leader is with them, challenging Hiragi to a showdown. Hiragi asks if he can say no to the fight, but the gorilla flat out refuses and swings a massive punch his way. Hiragi dodges it, impressing the gorilla. It's the first time anyone's ever avoided her attack. Hiragi realizes this gorilla isn't a guy, it's actually a female gorilla who's got a crush on him. He tries his guillotine kick on her, but she dodges it no sweat and counters with a huge punch that sends Hiragi flying deep into the jungle. The gorilla notices he's still alive after that hit. Hiragi asks if she's really out to kill him. He stands up and strikes back with Tiger Claw, but she dodges and attacks again, causing a massive explosion. Somehow Hiragi survives. Impressed once more, the monkey shares her name, Seiichi. Now Hiragi has no choice but to pull out his dagger and hit her with full disaster water magic, but the attack backfires on him instead. He thinks Seiichi did it, but she says no. She launches another powerful strike. Hiragi's dodging as best he can, but one punch lands square on his face, drawing blood from his mouth. He feels like this is it, the end. Then, memories of his friends flash in his mind, firing him up with fresh motivation. Hiragi tries the same trick he used on that earlier monkey, but he has no idea how he pulled it off back then. Seiichi is gearing up for another big attack when Hiragi raises both hands, and that same smell wafts out from beside him. But this time, it's totally different. Instead of knocking Seiichi out, it makes her fall head over heels in love with him, and she proposes marriage. She scoops him up and takes him with her. Now we see Seiichi treating Hiragi like her husband, giving him food to eat and clothes to wear. Hiragi can't wrap his head around how a gorilla can be this smart. All he wants is to escape somehow. He recalls spotting a black spot on the map. While he's lost in thought about it, Seiichi approaches and asks if he's thinking about her. Hiragi explodes in anger and yells at her. He demands to know how she's so smart for a gorilla. Seiichi explains she found some books near a cave and learned everything, including how to speak, from reading them. Hiragi flips open the book and sees it's full of household tasks and related magic spells. Now Seiichi tells Hiragi his food's getting cold, so he should eat it quick. But Hiragi snaps back, saying don't tell him what to do, and in his rage he calls her a bastard gorilla. Seiichi sweetly replies that she's not a gorilla. Her name's Seiichi, and he can call her honey if he wants. No need to be shy. This drives Hiragi nuts. He needs to get out of here fast. Now we see Seiichi heading out to hunt for dinner, giving Hiragi the perfect chance to bolt. But just a few steps in, a huge spider pops up in front of him. Terrified, Hiragi screams. Seiichi hears him and rushes back, punching the spider far away in one go. She checks if he's okay. Hiragi realizes that despite all his insults, Seiichi still cares about him. Now, underground, we spot a demon who's lost all his human side. He's just hoping someone shows up to rescue him from the darkness. Back above, Hiragi and Seiichi are eating together when she mentions she has to join the clever monkeys in the jungle today to hunt for the fruit of evolution. Hiragi spits out his food in shock. Seiichi asks if he knows about it. Scared, Hiragi says no. She describes it as a super powerful fruit. Whoever eats it gets a massive power boost. But eat it 11 times by accident and you're dead. And Hiragi's already down 10. Seiichi says she's eaten 10 herself but kept collecting more to feed her future husband. But someone stole her stash of 10. Seeing her angry glare, Hiragi spills the truth. Instead of getting mad, Seiichi is thrilled and says this makes marrying him even more urgent. She asks if he hates her. Hiragi admits he doesn't hate her, and that's enough for Seiichi. She suggests they tie the knot right now. Then she heads out hunting again, and Hiragi seizes the moment to escape successfully. Meanwhile, Hiragi's classmates are training hard but fuming because it's been days of just practice. They crave real battles. Even the king said they need to beat the demon king, yet they're not allowed to fight even minor monsters. Back to Hiragi with Seiichi chasing him. She's yelling not to run that way, but he ignores her and uses instant movement to zip far ahead. He reaches a dark cave with a creepy vibe, but hearing Seiichi closing in, he dashes inside. There he finds a huge gate. Opening it, he faces Dark Lord numbers. No says he never expected a human to make it here alive. Hiragi checks his level, it's 15,000. Nos is eager to fight, figuring Hiragi must be incredibly strong to survive this far. He sneaks behind Hiragi and swings his sword, but Seiichi jumps in and takes the hit, dying instantly. Hiragi calls her name, desperate to know why she saved him. Saria's eyes flutter open, and she says she's glad he finally said her name. Hiragi considers a healing potion, but Saria explains she's already dead. This is her ability letting her talk a bit longer. Tearfully, Hiragi asks why she'd save someone like him, who never showed her respect. Saria calls him kind and brave, saying she had so much fun with him. From behind, Dark Lord mocks their gorilla-human love story as silly. Hiragi stands and tells him he wouldn't get it, then pulls his dagger and blasts full disaster. But Nos uses Dark Hole to suck it up. Hiragi doesn't quit, using instant movement to close in, and right then his ultimate skill activates, letting him defeat Nos, the Dark Lord. As he dies, Nos thanks Hiragi for showing love's power. Now we see Dark Lord back in human form with a girl beside him. They both vanish into the air. Over with Saria, she tells Hiragi she wanted to be his wife. He confesses he wanted that too, and they share a final kiss. Saria glows brighter and transforms into the beautiful girl from the episode's start. Now, Dark Lord Nos's backstory. 1,500 years ago, he was a beloved noble, ace at sword fighting, training heroes. But he fell into the Emperor's trap, turning everyone against him. Even his wife left. Only his maid, Maria, trusted him. Their pure love got discovered and the Emperor attacked. Maria sacrificed herself to save numbers. After her death, Nos lost his humanity. That dark day turned him into a monster. Back to Hiragi and Saria, they find a treasure chest. Hiragi pulls out a shirt first and gives it to Saria. She looks stunning in it, making his nose bleed. From the chest, Hiragi gains tons of skills, including dark magic. His final evolution kicks in, making him look like a handsome young guy. Saria blushes at his pretty face. Then a tiny sheep drops from the sky, saying they're the first to clear this dungeon, so it's here with rewards. It gives Hiragi some gear, Saria a lovely dress, and Hiragi a useless helmet. Then it teleports them out of the jungle as they wished, kicking off their new adventure. Hiragi and Saria head to the city's adventure guild to get ID cards, and maybe bump into his friends. On the way, a slime blocks their path. Slimes are usually weak, but this one's strong and speedy. It attacks Hiragi, but he uses his new skills to crush it easily. His strike's so fierce, it cracks the ground wide open. He gets skills and boots from it, giving the boots to Saria and absorbing the skills himself. After that, Hiragi's level rises again. Now he's scared. If his powers keep growing like this, he might turn into a monster someday. Suddenly, his helmet glows bright and turns into a rope. Inside, there's a letter from Mr. Sheep saying the helmet evolves with his level. Finishing the letter, it explodes, burning Hiragi's face. They arrive at Telward City but can't enter without ID cards. Hiragi fibs that theirs got lost on the road. The guard's suspicious but lets them touch a glowing orb to check if they're criminals. They pass and Hiragi explains they're here for guild IDs. The guard freaks out and warns them off the guild. He introduces himself as Cloud and says come to him if there's trouble. Hiragi agrees and enters. The guild looks normal outside. Peeking in, Hiragi sees a weird girl whipping a fat guy in girl's clothes. The vibe inside is strange and scary. They start to leave, but the guild master appears behind, drags them in and hands over registration forms. Turns out that girl is the receptionist, super pretty, named Eris. She says they need a reason to join. Hiragi shares he's hunting for his friends in this world. Eris says this guild's perfect, all world info flows here. Joining means help finding them. Saria loves it, so Hiragi signs up for her. As he fills the form, two strangers enter, learn he's new and invite him along. Hiragi goes without questions. Saria worries. Those adventurers take him to their boss, showing his face. They're stunned by his beauty. But Hiragi sees the boss stripped naked, saying oddly, "You're ready." The adventurers strip too. Sensing bad vibes, Hiragi freaks, jumps the wall, escapes and bolts back to the guild. The master and Eris are amazed he survived the Mox group. Furious, Hiragi asks why the master doesn't stop them. He chuckles, saying they just do what they're good at, so he allows it. Eris explains small tests ahead to set mission levels, with Protector Artoria, an A-rank adventurer who doesn't want the job. Hiragi doesn't care who it is, angering Artoria. She grabs his collar. Eris calms things. The master notes Hiragi escaped the Mohawk group, so he can handle Artoria's bad luck. She cools off and agrees. On the road, Artoria outlines 3 tests. Handle orphanage kids, destroy a building, walk a client's dog. Saria takes the kids, so Hiragi and Artoria head to the building. En route, a kid falls playing. Artoria helps, applying medicine when nearby logs tumble down. Hiragi panics. but checks and sees Artoria's defense skills saved them both. They reach the rickety building. Artoria warns him off, saying it'll collapse at a touch. It does, burying him. Artoria's horrified, blaming her curse. Anyone with her faces disasters, costing her loved ones as a kid. She stays alone to spare others. But Hiragi emerges smiling, unhurt. Enraged, Artoria scolds him for carelessness. He'll lose friends someday. She stresses an adventurer's real strength is sensing danger. Dead, your magic's useless. Realizing she's too harsh, she quiets. Hiragi stares, making her blush and flee to the next mission. He gets she's truly kind, just hides it. Meanwhile, Hiragi's friends grumble over 5 months of training. Their instructor won't risk them dying to the Demon King. He says peaceful world folks should stay peaceful here. Back Hiragi's last test, walk a dog. But it's a wolf that roughs him up. The owner thinks he's loving it. Artoria jokes she'll save him if needed. The owner teases Artoria's happier lately, Hiragi's fault? She blushes hard, insisting she's just his protector. In the guild, the master pulls Hiragi's reward from his underwear, pissing him off. With no place to stay, Artoria suggests her spot. The master and heiress are stunned. She excuses its cheap rent and good food. Hiragi and Seiya agree to move in. To become adventurers, Hiragi and Seiichi have one last test remaining, in which they just need to collect 10 medical herbs. But without fully listening to Hiragi's words, Seiya sets off to find them in the jungle. Seiya had quickly completed her test, but Hiragi doesn't find even a single herb in the entire jungle. That's why he picks up rare mushrooms instead. But those herbs were growing right under their feet, seeing which Hiragi wants to drown in shame somewhere. But now only 5 herbs are left here, so Hiragi will have to go back into the jungle. Now in the jungle, he wasn't finding herbs, but he encounters some monsters who were talking about dropping some human. Hiragi overhears their conversation, but that idiot still thinks he'll ask them about the medical herbs, and he does just that. Now, seeing a human there, all the monsters get scared because if Hiragi had heard their words, their boss wouldn't leave them alive today. Now, to save their lives, they decide to kill Hiragi. That's why they call their strongest companion the giant monster there. It was really very big and powerful too, and it crushes Hiragi under its foot. Everyone thought that Hiragi's end had come there, but if looked closely, Hiragi had absorbed all of that monster's powers, after which he breaks its foot itself. Seeing this, all the monsters get scared and say that our work here was already finished, so today we're letting you go. If you ever come in front of me again, I'll finish you off, and saying this, they tuck their tails and run away from there. Hiragi picks up everything he finds in the entire jungle besides herbs, so Artoria, feeling pity for him, gives him her 5 herbs. On the other side, we see those same 3 monsters who were bowed in front of Leah, the captain of the 3rd Division of the Demon Army. Leah was about to punish those 3 because they had gone among humans without obeying her orders and got beaten up from there too. One of the 3 monsters says that they have set up transportation magic in many places in the town. Whoever steps on it will fall straight into the Black Dragon's dungeon. Hearing this, Lisa feels very sad. Clearly she was just pretending. Anyway, for not obeying her, she's going to whip these 3 500 times. Outside the city, Seiya and Hiragi were waiting for Artoria when they find Cloud there. He tells them that this is going to be their final test. When Cloud was praising Artoria to Hiragi, Artoria arrives there too. Artoria was surprised to see that Hiragi and Cloud already know each other. Anyway, in their last test, they have to kill weak slimes. Seiya is good at physical combat, so she'll use her gorilla hands. Now, when Hiragi was about to kill a slime, it suddenly disappears. Seeing this, Artoria immediately understands that someone has laid teleportation magic here. She was going to the guild to alert everyone, but mistakenly places her foot right on that trap. Now, just before she teleports, Hiragi and Seiichi grab Artoria, and all 3 of them teleport into the dragon's den, which the dragon has also sensed. The 3 of them are trapped in the dragon's den. Artoria is very angry at them because in the attempt to save her, both of them got trapped here too. Anyway, so that they don't get separated from each other, Artoria gives them guide stones, which will keep telling them each other's location. Also, if any companion is in danger, its color will turn red. Moving forward, Artoria's very first step separates them from each other. That wall was very strong, so Artoria will have to find another way. Seiichi and Seiya have the guide stone, with which they can find Artoria, but they don't even know how to use it. Somehow, the stone starts glowing, but it's showing the path on the other side of the wall, which disappoints them once again. So now they'll have to find a way themselves. On the other side of the wall, Artoria also has to face many powerful monsters, whom she somehow kills, but her condition has become half dead. Seiya and Hiragi aren't finding any path inside this danger besides a dead end, but there is one room there with a treasure chest inside. This is the only room in the entire dungeon that looks different, so Hiragi understands that this must be a trap. That's why he decides not to open it. But then a voice comes from that chest box. We see that this chest box can speak like humans and has hands and feet like humans too. It attacks Hiragi. Hiragi gets scared seeing such a strange thing and mistakenly attacks it, and that chest box ends right there. As soon as it ends, another new chest box appears there, inside which was the biography book of that chest box. There was a golden time when every adventurer or explorer needed a chest box to go into danger, in which they kept their found treasures. But ever since the item box was invented, people forgot about chest boxes. This loneliness taught it to speak, walk, and do magic like humans. It must have thought that now humans would adopt it, but humans started boycotting it by calling it a monster. Now inside that chest box was another ring, with which anyone's good luck could go into double minus. Then the guide stone starts glowing in red color, meaning Artoria must be in some very big danger. On the other side, Artoria was standing outside a huge cave gate. Besides going inside, there was no other way here. As soon as she goes inside, the door closes, and in front is the Black Dragon, the strongest monster of the Demon Lord's army. Jiraiya fearlessly attacks the Black Dragon. Then the scene changes and we see that Hiragi and Seiichi have realized that Artoria is in very big danger, but what can they do? The stone is still showing the path on the other side of the wall. Seiichi punches the wall many times in anger, which doesn't break the wall but definitely breaks his hand. Artoria was already injured, and fighting this dragon she has become even weaker, but she still fights to save Ragi and Seiichi. Artoria unleashes her most powerful form, Calamity Buster. The dragon never expected so much power from a human, but despite many attempts, Artoria loses, and the dragon is about to finish her with its fire blast. But at that moment, Hiragi and Seiichi arrive there and save Artoria. After that, Hiragi gives his special healing potion to Artoria and faces the Black Dragon himself. Just a little while ago, with another punch from Ragi, that wall had broken, after which he arrives here with instant movement. Now in the present, the dragon attacks him with fire blast, but with instant movement, Ragi dodges it and is advancing quickly towards the dragon, but the dragon's supreme claw hits Hiragi directly. He had taken the Black Dragon a bit too lightly. From his appraisal, he learns that this dragon's level is 5,000, meaning twice that of numbers. He could only dodge the dragon's attacks, but the dragon had a power with which it could control anyone's body too. It grabs Hiragi and throws him straight into the wall, and by now Ragi has also come to his knees. Now as the end of this battle approaches, the dragon is about to erase Hiragi's name and trace with its strongest attack, Bottomless Inferno. Then Seiya reminds Hiragi that he has one more magic left. Hiragi summons his digger and fills the entire place with water using Full Disaster, in which he himself also flows away. With this attack, the dragon's attack has also become useless, but the dragon attacks again with Fire Blast. Ragi dodges it, but again the dragon freezes him and is about to end this story with Supreme Claw. Ragi is trying his best to move himself, then suddenly he gets two new skills. Ragi breaks free from the dragon's magic and cuts the dragon into many pieces with a secret skill. The dragon doesn't like this end of the battle. It wanted to live happily here with its master. Anyway, the Black Dragon's end has finally come. Ragi's level has also increased. Now they can go back alive from here, but from which way? They haven't found the path yet. Hiragi calms Seiya. There must be something in the items obtained from the dragon with which they can get out from here. Among them was a dragon's pearl, eating which physical strength and magic increase. As soon as he eats it, Ragi gets another new skill called Space Magic, with which now they can get out from here. Among these items was also the Black Dragon's book. At one time, the Black Dragon used to be the protector of humans, but seeing its powers, humans got the idea to make weapons from its skin, after which they started hunting the Black Dragon. Then the Demon Lord saved it from humans, but the Demon Lord is killed by Hero's hands, and after that, the dragon was sealed in this danger. By the way, this time Mr. Sheep didn't come. Then an explosion happens on Hiragi's head, and we get Mr. Sheep's letter, in which he is congratulating Hiragi because he has taken one more step towards losing his humanity. Also, he didn't let the dragon meet the Demon Lord. In this way, Mr. Sheep is teasing Hiragi and says to keep completing missions like this and don't bother me like this because I'm going on vacation. After that, the three of them come back to their town with space magic. Ragi had lifted Artoria in his arms, seeing which she blushes. She tells Hiragi to put her down. Seiya explains to them that she hasn't fully recovered yet,